Welcome. Hi. Hey. Hello. How you doing? This is Periwinkle Palace Arts. Thank you for clicking on this video or stream. I really hope that you join in the chat with me. We could talk about anything. I'm Princess Bun Bun. Did I say this is Periwinkle Palace Arts? I don't remember. It's Periwinkle Palace Arts. You can see it at the top right there. Plus, it's in the title of my YouTube channel. And I'm Princess Bun Bun, and I'm here with my Bun Buns, and we do art stuff here. I'm trying really, really hard to be chipper. I feel chipper. I feel chipper on the inside, but my face hurts. Forgive me. Anyway, so we went to lunch after our morning stream and back. We got an afternoon stream this day, today. So first thing we do is, as always, we introduce the Bun Buns. And while I do a more in-depth introduction on the morning stream, we still, sometimes I swap out in the afternoons. And we still introduce them briefly anyway. I'm a little bit obsessed with bunnies, among many, many other things. I have a wide variety of interests. Anyway, this is Maya. She is my fibromyalgia bunny. If you want to know where I buy these bunnies, these really amazing. I love these bunnies, okay? I like other bunnies too, but I love these bunnies. I'm not just undressing her for funsies, okay? This is the fibromyalgia butterfly, pastel rainbow butterfly symbol. And there's a lot of other little symbols on her. But yeah, her name is Maya. She's the first bun I got, and so she's my main girl. And she's the big sister to all the other buns in the family. There's a lot of them. Okay, and she sits underneath my laptop, so she can always give me a funny face look with her eyes. Sometimes she sits right behind my water to remind me to hydrate. That's what she does. We also have today Tizzy. Tizzy is the gold edition autism bunny. And she has lots of symbols on her too. I really need to look these things up. But so she's got these really cool textured ears. They're like velvety, but these little knobby things feel, I don't know, they're just tactile soothers, I guess. I love them. She has a little magnet on her hand, so she can say, oh my. But it represents the verbal communication issues that those on the spectrum have. And she's got her little spacey eyes, trying to avoid making eye contact. No, she doesn't want to look. Anyway, she's wearing this cute little dress. I adore it. And like I said, her name is Tizzy, and she's gonna go in the bunny cup holder. And we also have this bun. This bunny is the chronic pain bunny, and she has a whole bunch of symbology on her too that I need to look. Every time I go on the website to copy and paste the descriptions that they have of the bunny, I get distracted, and that's how I end up with more bunnies sometimes. Anyway, she's missing one of her spiked bracelets. It's really pokey. I'm pretty sure she landed it somewhere in my bed where it's gonna bomb me. But her name is Lee BB. And yes, it's a strange name with a story. Let me see if I can summarize. So she has the bracelet, which of course made her first possible name be Spike. Spike made me think of Spike Lee, and Lee made me think of Lee BB, who is a character in this show on Amazon. Is it Amazon? It might be on Apple TV. Anyway, the show is called Murderbot, and it's a great show. It's hilarious. and one of the characters in there is named Lee Bibi, and so Spike, Lee, Lee, and it's hard to explain, but her personality just fits. So there are the buns. This morning we colored up the Emerald City. I think it came out really great. It'll be touched up when we do finishing on this, and if you want to go back and look, we did the clouds and sky yesterday afternoon, and yesterday morning we did the rainbow. So we're breaking this down into parts. I try to finish each part before I end the stream, if I can. The first, oh, this is on my desk. I don't even know what, well, it's probably to remind me that I need to do this hand of chippage and fix it. I might do that later. Okay. So we're gonna do the yellow brick road now. And I grabbed Y000 because the places where the yellow brick road is in the original class, just I want to put it in a little bit of a different placement. So we've got flowers here, and we've got a little bit of the road poking through here, but I kind of want the road to come back in a different spot. Where it will kind of make a little bit more visual sense to me. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, that will work. So I got the Y000 so that I can just mark out the lines where I'm going to make the yellow brick road. So starting back here, we're gonna go right over this line. This is just because my eyes kind of, they don't see lines without a little bit of strain. And I'm also still getting used to wearing progressive lenses. So I'm just marking this out so that I don't lose the line. And I'm going to bring this down right in front of the little houses. It just makes visual sense to me there. I figure I might as well kind of like bring this out a little bit, since apparently I'm going to the edge anyway. It doesn't matter what I say. I'm gonna go to the edge anyway. Okay, and so then our road comes back here. If you see me singing and dancing, please don't expect this to be a performance, but it could happen. It's not particularly good singing, but I do sing and dance while I'm doing art, while I'm talking, pretty much while I'm doing anything. If you are interested in seeing what exactly it is that gets me bebopping around all over the place, see if I can do it. It's right there. I did it. It's just a little screen share of my Spotify mini player. I'm also using this light color to kind of start creating a little bit of texture on the road, because that's something we're going to do. Okay. Now let me go a little textury back through here. I'm just basically, I'm not really wiggling my hand. I'm just allowing my hand to do more twitching than it necessarily is doing by itself. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm like, I'm going into the twitch instead of working against it. That's what it is. So, kind of not really doing this with the video in front of me. I'm just kind of going in the order that she did the video as far as various elements. But I'm not really, I don't think I'm even using all of the techniques. I'm kind of making this class up on my own as I go, a little bit. I'm just veering off of the instructions completely. So I do that sometimes. Actually, I do that a lot. Let me be honest. What I'm trying to say is that I already did the class once, this particular image in colored pencil, and I've also done the image with Elphaba and Pan Pastel in colored pencil, and I've also done the marker version of Elphaba in Copics and in Spectrum Noir markers. So I've kind of got the technique down, and I'm incorporating my own ridiculousness into it now. Don't mind me. I need to find something to listen to on the TV. So yeah, that's what I do too. I have a TV, usually watching documentaries or news, music, which you can see on my screen, a video going without any sound that I ran through a closed caption, and goodness knows what else. Now I'm going to come back over the whole thing with Y00. This is my breakdown of the conversion from Prismacolor color pencils to Copic markers, which some of that I changed up as well. Doing the same kind of, I'm twitching, so I'm just going to let it wiggle kind of maneuver here. I'm just going to blob this yellow 00 over here, and then down this way, this is our base color, really. Well, I guess Y000 is our base color, right? Sometimes I add in more colors, or I'll swap colors out to get a different look, or just because I think, hey, this might look good like that. I'm not always right. sometimes it doesn't look good. Like, you ever have that experience where you're doing something and you think it's going to come out great, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, what have I done? Trying to come around. I think I'm going to bring this down this way a little bit. Honestly, the more of the yellow brick road I throw in here on the side, the less of those tulips I'm going to have to hand draw if I decide to extend it past the border like I have been. I did that with another one. And then halfway through I was like, no, I don't want to do the tulips. So I left it off, and then I just cut it off the side. Sometimes I do this and sometimes I don't. And I can't really tell you what the difference is between when I make the decision to do it and when I make the decision not to. I will say I'm feeling a little better right now than I was most of the morning. I hope I'm not complaining too much. Sometimes I'll be making noises like groaning and stuff. Like, I just don't know I'm even making that noise. I think it's part of maybe a part of getting older in general. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna bring this yellow road kind of like this away. What do you think? Yeah? Okay, cool. Let me grab the Y000, because, you know, I made a base, so I need to make both of them the same color. Hopefully I won't start putting my marker caps together on the... putting my markers and my caps together wrong, like I was yesterday. Okay. How's that? I think we can go here, kind of like that. I'm just going to trace what would be the outer edge of these tulips. And kind of like even. I don't know what that's going to do, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. Okay, let me go back through here. You know what? Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. Let me put this cap on this marker. I was about to use the chisel end, but I don't want to. I'm going to so we're going to pretend that this road comes down this way and kind of tapers off here. Okay, now we'll go back over that we just did with Y00. So, I was hurting this morning. I took some pain medication during lunch while I was cleaning out my doggo's ears. I think he's got an ear infection, which he had something in his ear. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty yucky. And I'm pretty, like, I'm absolutely positive he has an ear infection in both ears. So I'm gonna have to get him to the vet. But I cleaned it out and I used a warm washcloth and massaged his ears. My poor baby. He's so old. I didn't say anything. He gave me a look. I'm thinking about someday putting like a little pup cam up on my screen too. I know my screen's busy. It's because I can't decide what information I want to display. I want to tell you everything on the internet. So if I seem more loopy than usual, that would have to be pretty loopy, or I don't know. I don't really like taking pain meds or anything that's like mentally that affects you mentally, like makes you sleepy, makes you not sleepy. I don't like taking anything that affects my thought process, because I have enough trouble with my thought processes, man. I do. I have enough trouble with my thought processes. I'm doing it again. I meant to like cut this off right here and stop coloring there, but there's no lines there. I color outside of them. I make my own lines, okay? I can't help it. It's almost compulsive, but it also can be like sometimes art is a very mindful activity for me. So sometimes I just kind of like get into it and I sink kind of into it, and the repetitiveness and the zoomed in focus, just, it's so soothing. And sometimes that's when my best art experiments occur as well. I feel like you kind of have to get into a zone, which is why I don't know that I can like get into zone before, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, if that. I'm kind of like a night owl that has forced herself to be on a normal daytime people's sleep schedule, because circadian rhythm and having sunlight in your life is important, and having appropriate amounts of sleep is important. I don't approach health on one level. I approach health on a everything level. It annoys people. Okay. Next we want to use E37. And we're going to add some cast shadows and such. Just rolling away. Like, it hurts to breathe. Through my nose too. It hurts to breathe through my nose. Okay, I'm gonna come around her dress. I'm gonna come around the sides and kind of give it some dimension here. The song is called Under the Weather, I think. And yeah, it's called Under the Weather. And it's basically about seasonal sadness, seasonal affective disorder. Do you have seasonal affective disorder? Balancing your circadian rhythm could help with that. Honestly, you could Google it. Yeah, sometimes I do go outside the lines when I'm coloring, and I do that intentionally. Sometimes I do it unintentionally. I never claimed that I could color in the lines, but also sometimes I don't want to, because sometimes, like, you can change this stuff up, man, to make it your own, like I'm doing with the road here, right? I want to make it look how I want to make it look. I don't usually do these classes so many times in a row. Um, well, to be fair, actually, to be fair, I don't know why I say that way. I think it's something my husband got me started saying that I can't remember where it's from. Uh, so, to be fair, I did other classes in between these classes. So, I did this one first, and then I did, I believe, the duckling in colored pencil, and then I did this in Spectrum Noirs, and then I did, I think, the sea otter, and what else? Why can't I remember it? There was a duck, a sea otter, and a phoenix. I did all those three in colored pencil. And I did this one sometime while I was doing those three. This is the pan pastel and colored pencil. And then I did, no, after I did this one is when I did the colored pencil, duck, sea otter, and then I did the phoenix, and then I did another phoenix and marker. Then I did the duckling and the sea otter and marker. And then Now, and that's when I got my Copics in, and I did this one with the Copics. That's the one we did together last week. And now I'm doing this one in colored pencil again. I'm sorry, I'm doing the colored pencil class again, but I'm doing it in Copic markers. Jeez. Jeez. That was difficult to get out, right? Okay. Just kind of dabbing this and letting it be broken up a little bit. Okay. Come along this one, this one. Okay. And now I'm gonna kind of just wobble this like that. And I'm barely gonna come across what might be the top. Okay, not barely. I tried to do it barely, but I had a twitch. Okay. All right. I'm gonna come up here and go a little bit further down with sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical trouble here. It's gonna look messy. That's okay. Okay. I was just double checking the order of the colors here. Okay. Now I wanna sometimes these things seem like they do go on one end or the other, and other times they seem like they don't. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. I think the next color is Jasmine, Y21. I'm confusing myself here. It's yellowed ochre, sorry. I'm gonna use this to blend out the cast shadows on the edges. I don't think I've used this marker before, except for when I swatched the swatch decks over the weekend. So I don't want to get big blobs here. I'm gonna go pretty heavy over the E37 here. I want this to blend out and soften. So I'm applying a good amount of this color because this lighter color is gonna dilute the marker that we have there. I am clenching my jaw so bad. If I put my finger in it, if I put my finger in there, how am I gonna hold my paper? You'd think, with how much my mouth hurts, that I would instinctively not clench my jaw. But if you were thinking that, you'd be probably wrong. Not wrong to think it, but you'd be wrong. Because my mouth does that unconsciously. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this down gently a little bit further. I'm not going to go as heavy around here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to blend this out, and I'm going to blend it in towards the center of the road. So it's going to get a little darker, and it's going to be darker on the edges, right? On the edges? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, to be honest. How about I just show you? Okay. And I'm going to try to bring in that texturizing motion I was doing earlier as I get towards the center of the road. Now I'm going to bring this like a few dabs through here. I'm not going to do that very much of that texture here because this is just a little bit of a cast shadow we're seeing through her arm. So that's not going to have a lot of detail in there, right? And I was talking earlier when I was doing the Emerald City about how sometimes I color outside of the lines. What it really is, actually, is that I look at the object that I'm coloring and I determine whether I want to blend it in to the image, to the center of an object, or if I want to blend it out from the object. And based on that is how I determine whether I put, so like I've got this brown line right here, whether I put this mark on the inside of that line or the outside of that line is determined by what direction I'm blending the colors. So in here, I don't want this to go into her hair. So I'm actually not even putting it on the line so much as I am putting it on the inside of this space that I made. If that makes sense. All right, same thing here. I'm not gonna go over here. I'm gonna start down here on the bottom of the little brown line. Now, I have a question for any of you who are in the chat, and also those of you who might be watching this later on. Should I zoom in more? Can you see that okay? Like, Can you see the detail that I'm working with? Or does it just look like I'm smudging things all over the place? Is it too zoomed out? Is it? Let me know. Let me know. Should I zoom in more? I know what I can see, but that's not necessarily what you can see. Add a little bit underneath this line here. Fade that out a little bit more. And then I missed a spot. I missed a spot. Okay. Let me blend those lines out that I just added. The reason that I've done this class so many times is because I love Wicked. I love The Wizard of Oz. I love rainbows. I love everything about Wizard of Oz. There's life lessons in Wizard of Oz, okay? We don't have to be very precise with these things back here. Don't have to be precise with any of it, really. Okay. I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna blend that out some with texture. The thing is when it comes to the hand drawn or additional parts on the side, if I don't like how they come out, I just chop them off. Okay. Next is, I think jasmine. This is yellow ochre, which should be YR23. Yeah. And then we had this, E37. So now we're gonna do, it's called Buttercup Yellow, Y21. Basically, I'm about to do the same thing that I just did. This is a pretty good technique for when my hands will not cooperate. Just wiggling and blobbing. as I get further back with this, I go from using my marker this way more to coming more up because it creates smaller dots, sort of. The reason I'm so quiet at this moment is because I'm trying to envision a different way of giving the road the brick look where I don't have to draw as many lines. Because I'm not good at lines. Fishnet, scales, they give me trouble. But I have drawn the lines in this road quite a few times, and so I'm trying to think of a way to do brick that doesn't involve so many lines. I'm kind of in a lazy art mood today, to be honest. Hello. Oh, thank you. Um, I did these on a live this past weekend. This past week, I'm not sure. Um, but they're these new nail wraps that I got from Nail Fox, and I'm kind of loving them. I need to file these ones because they're a little chipped and stuff. But that's because I'm hard on my nails. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you so much. I like your name. Fable Bunny. I don't know how this is going, to be honest. um, one of the things that I'm thinking is that if I can kind of create like little blocks that are different shades, I might be able to not need as many lines. So what I mean by that is I keep pulling these out because they're pretty good representations of what I'm talking about. So on this Copic one, I went through before I did any lines at all, and I tried to add some different shading, and it looked pretty good. But I'm not sure if I can do that and still get away with not putting the lines there. Let's find out. And I think the key to this technique that I'm missing right now might be to, I don't know, like, I think I can, layering. That's what I need to do. I just need to keep going and layer. And also be a little bit more judicious about where I put my darker colors. And I think I can do it. I don't know how to use this thing. try to kind of break up my dabbing here a little bit more, because I'm pretty much at the bottom here just putting all of the color everywhere, and I don't think that's going to work out the way I want it to. But if it doesn't work out the way I want it to, I guess I can always come back and draw the lines again, right? This is kind of an experiment right now. Okay. I'm just going to grab all of my Y's here. We're going to go Y double zero, Y triple zero, Y quadruple zero. I'm going to have to refill these markers probably sooner than any other markers. Let's try to break this up, shall we? I need to space these further out. What am I doing? Okay. I need to be barely putting these here, you know? I know it might seem a little weird that I'm going from dark colors to lighter colors in this blend. You might be asking yourself, why? And how is the lighter color going to do anything against the darker color? And the reason is because the lighter the color is, the less pigment is in it. And because it's an alcohol marker, it actually like dilutes the ink down a little bit. So this is lighter than this, and it's going to make the areas a little bit lighter where I put it, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. Apologies. So this is Y triple zero. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, but it's starting to look pretty bumpy. So now we're going to go to y quadruple 0. I'm going to start up here. Okay, as that starts to dry, it'll separate down. Now what I'm going to do also, this is also going to seem pretty counterintuitive. I'm going to start all over again. This is a process of layering. I'm going to start all over again and build up kind of around the texture. Not around, I'm trying to build up texture, and the way to do that is kind of layering and going back and forth and back and forth. That's really good. Will you hold that for me, Maya? Thank you, darling. All right. E37. Oh, never, ever, ever, ever twist the marker caps off of Copic. I've learned that. I'm gonna go pretty light with this here. I'm not sure if I'm liking the way this texture looks, to be honest, because of the way I'm applying it. So we might do something a little bit different on this pass. I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to make the texture look a little different. Maybe more of like a scumbling motion going on here. I feel like the dabs will still show through. Okay, I'm gonna go in right after this because this is the darkest spot on the whole of the road. So I want to kind of tone that down real quick. And by quick, I mean I want to blend this before it really sets into the paper, kind of while it's still wet. So it's like, I guess you would call it a wet on wet type technique, I guess. Come back and do some of that little bit of swirling that I was doing. And just try to I want it to look really like it's not a pattern. So I didn't bring the darker brown down any further than this. I wanted to see what happens when I do this over it before I bring it down more. Because I'm not sure that I want to do that anywhere else. And if this looks bad, I could just chop it off. I kind of want to see what it does. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to do this different, and I don't know if it's gonna work out, but thank you. We'll see what happens. Okay. We'll see how that dries out, and I'll come back to that. For right now, I know I just want to bring some very small textures in here. And when I say small, I mean small. I get excited with my art sometimes and just go crazy, and I end up like, oh, I was trying to do this small and now I've got big blobs everywhere. I have to have a little bit of self-control sometimes. That's not something that I'm very good at. I'm going to leave the edges that are around her, those cast shadows. I'm not gonna add any more of this to it. I'm gonna leave them to try and like let them kind of fade against there, because those cast shadows are actually a lot farther away than this one is. They're farther in front of her. I struggle with light source, but it's something I practice, and it's a matter of like just trying to sit here and see what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what I'm trying to see. Hey, nobody ever said I make sense. So yeah, so see how I'm going down the edges, but I'm not going to do this line in here. I'm also not going to do any more of this color in there, or up against, actually I am up against there because that's not bumpy at all. Let me bumpy it. I'm going to bumpy it. I crack me up. I'm going to come right here and make these small. Don't forget to make them small, because here it's going to be a little broken up because there's tulip tops at at the bottom of the road. So I don't really need to have the road peeking through everywhere. you know? Some of it's going to be covered up by flowers. So I'm just leaving that area open. Now I'm going to let my blobs get a little bigger down here. On purpose, on purpose. It's on purpose. And I'm going to get smaller as I go back. I'm going to try to get smaller as I go back. Sometimes I think that people really, I think that people want to do things, good things, or things like politicians. Sometimes I think they want to do good things, and they forget to say, like, I want to do this thing, and I'm hoping to do it this way. And instead they say, we will do this thing, and we will do it this way. And then, you know, when they can't pull that out of their hat down the road, they're like, everybody says, you said, and, well, they did. I feel like they used incorrect verbiage. That's just my thought. And then politicians was just an easy example at the moment. Like, I know myself, like, even to my children, I've said so many times, we will do this or we will do that. Well, what I was really trying to say is, we're going to try to do this, and I want to try to do that, and if we can make it happen, we might do that. I feel like politicians have to stop taking on these big projects that will get people to like them. And because then you get into the White House or Congress or wherever you're at, and you're like, oh, I have to work with all these other people, and they have all these other ideas, and I promised my people all of this stuff, but they don't want to do this stuff, and now I can't figure out how to compromise, and it's a whole thing. So I try to say more like, I'm trying to do this, or I would like to accomplish that, instead of I will and I am. Tiny dots, tiny dots. I am trying to keep this color to the areas where I already had this color and blended it out a little bit, because I'm trying to build on what I've already put here, and I don't want to fill the whole space up. I want to leave this imperfect kind of look. Okay, now that looks like polka dots. Alright, that looks like polka dots. I'm not sure I love it. So I'm going to grab Y quadruple 0, and I'm going to blend it really fast. I don't know why I expected that if I made dots, it wouldn't look like dots. I forgot that I just need to blend it. It'll be fine. I mean, okay, I'm gonna go along all of them just real quick. They look a little scary to me at the moment. I just want is it, my dude? Greasy dog. How's your ears doing? He came out to shake his head and shake his ears and then just walk right back into his kennel and lay down. I don't know. Maybe somebody's in the driveway. But I don't think he knows when people are here right now. Alright, I'm gonna go like, I just want to fade this a little bit. Yeah, I don't like how this looks in the corners. I don't know. I have a thought going through my head. I have a thought. I'm gonna grab this E21. I'm gonna add this into the blend. A little bit of a tone shift. Oh, I think my headset's about to die on me. Time to swap them out. I don't think that, I don't know. I was hoping this color would kind of bridge the gap between the darker and lighter colors. And I'm not sure that it did that. Excuse me. I just had to log my drink. Hang on, because my battery just died. I need my sound, you know? I love this song. That's E37. This is E44. That's not yellow enough. So what's going on here is basically I did all of this with dabs and dots. Now I'm coming back over it on the second layer with squiggles and circles. I don't know what I think about that. What do you think about that? Oh, friends. I think I'm about to have to stick one of those Q-tips in my mouth with some ambisol on it. It's so frustrating. I really, really hoped the antibiotics were gonna handle it. They did the last time it flared up or whatever, but it's one of those things where you're gonna get it reinfected. It's just gonna happen until you deal with the actual underlying problem, which in my case is that the tooth needs to come out. Okay, right here, I like how that looks. Let's keep going. What's the next? That was YR23, and then let's do Y21. I think that one goes before that one, but I'm not sure. I wonder why Stephen Colbert show got canceled. Is it Stephen Colbert? I just know it's the Colbert show. Curious. I'm gonna have to look that up in a little while. I think I'm gonna leave the brick road like that for right now, and I need to give my eyes a break on it to see if I like it without the lines, and we can always do more on it later. I'm gonna go ahead and work on some of this grass back here. What I'm gonna do here is pull out some different markers. So I want I'm gonna do BG78, G29, G17, and YG06. I don't know how these are going to blend together, but we're going to find out. So here, here, and here, we're going to make grass. I'm going to start with BG78. This is a very darker, it's a darker blue-green. That's pretty. So I'm gonna come in on this side and kind of there's barely anything over here, so we're just gonna do that. And then I'm going to come right here. I'm making this up as I go again. I'm going to come above this right here. So I'm gonna bring that down like this. And up here. And I'm gonna come up from here, make this kind of thick. And then I'm gonna kind of swoop out here and here as well. I want this to look kind of smooth, I guess. And I'm going to come behind here. That's kind of like, I see that as a bush that's next to the little village. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it's what I see. And so I'm going to continue this up here. Got it all. Everybody with me, everybody wants me to be the daughter-in-law. Okay. Okay. So we got this whole streaky thing going here. Now, we're going to go over it with G29. So I bring this back over the color I already did. It's gonna give it that bluish green tint. I think it will. But at my first go here, I'm only going over the color that's already there. And I'll show you why in just a sec. Okay, so I've covered that up, and now I'm just going to extend this color a little further. And I did the coloring over that first so that I wouldn't extend this too much. So I only want a little bit of this color by itself. You see what I'm doing there? I don't know if that makes sense visually, but it will. I hope. This is not a color blend I've used before, and I did not test it before I put it on this paper, did I? I sure didn't. Same thing here. Coming over the blue-green. Okay, and now, again, I'm going to extend it a little bit further. Oops. Okay, now we're gonna just bring this a little further in. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm going to come back over that with the G17. I'm just going to quickly go over the entire area. And then I think we're going to call this a day. Okay? Oops. Okay, so yeah, I got this really dark grass going on and I love it. I may lighten that up tomorrow, but I might not. Like I said, we're just gonna let everything dry down. It's still pretty wet. I put a lot of ink in that paper. Okay. I think that we're gonna let that be it for today. Tomorrow, thank you, Jelly. She said she really likes the rainbow. Yeah, I worked hard on that one. It actually matches up, look. This one matches up. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there for today. We're gonna come back to this yellow brick road tomorrow. After I've had some time to really think about it and look away from it and imagine in my mind a little bit. I really want to do this without drawing lines. I just really want to do it without the lines. I don't know why. It's become a little bit of an obsession, small obsession. Okay, so yeah. Yesterday we did the rainbow and the sky. Today we've done the Emerald City, the yellow brick road, and all this grass. We'll be back tomorrow around 8:30 in the morning, and we'll have a morning session tomorrow, but we will not have an afternoon session tomorrow. I can already tell you that because I have an appointment. So I will see you guys in the morning. Thank you for hanging out at Periwinkle Palace Arts. I'm Princess Bun Bun with my bunnies. We do art here, and that's what we did today. We did art.